sound like SpongeBob when I'm watching them.
You know,
2 hours later.
I one of my when I first got married to Michael, it was a hard transition getting the family to be on
A
the same
family.
page. Yeah.
Okay, this is how families
But-
operate.
And
Dun, dun,
there
dun,
was a
dun, dun, dun,
balance.
dun,
It
dun,
was,
dun.
hey, da 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 da, hey, da 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 da, hey, like y'all can't put me in this position. Just get along.
Yeah.
And it
But
wasn't.
it's not that difficult.
It wasn't that difficult
It's not
because
that difficult.
nothing that you did would have been an issue.
It's not that difficult.
When do you go? Dang, I didn't have my stuff together.
No, but
When do you say that though? Like,
let me
when do
tell you
you go
something.
and say,
When-
"Oh, I should have probably packed my stuff
When
up"?
you don't come over unless you're invited, that's respect. Even when you're told, "Oh, you don't have to be invited. You're welcome anytime." What are you talking about? No. I'm not going to do that. So it's either you are stupid
Wait,
or you
so
don't
she
know
will
what
only come
respect.
if you directly invited her?
No. My point is, I don't go. I don't go.
Uh,
I make it my business not to.
to
Just
give
like
you
I don't
respect.
pop up at your house. Because I say, she's an adult. I know she would love for me to come over, but let me be kind. Hey, you can be on Saturday.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to drop by. Around what time? Between 2 and 4.
All right.
That's how it works. That was respect. I could see if you had somebody that was just ding dong pushing past the door every other day.
You ain't even had.
And you're like,
you ain't even had.
where are
that.
you going? Like, you didn't have that.
You didn't have that.
You didn't have that. So
You didn't have the soon to be or possible mother-in-law who
you wanted trouble. You wanted trouble because you didn't have any. So you had to create something.
Create the drama.
Uh-huh.
Are you waiting for us? Okay.
Are you up? Are we on? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Yeah, it takes a little moment. Things got to warm up. The engine's got to steam.
Again, I'll just apologize for not playing my role because she wouldn't have got it.
We'd have had to evict you, madame, at the gates.
You just wanted to be a bystander.
You have been placed on notice.
No. The first time I took your mama to court. The first time we.
Remember that man's
You
name.
can tell she came straight from the hood. Are you trying to fight, sir?
We're women.
We are women.
You don't challenge women to a
Wrong.
brawl.
To a
What is
brawl?
wrong with
We're in
you?
a library.
We made
Sit down,
somebody
I got
quit.
this one.
We made somebody quit the practice of law.
You know the funny thing is that at that time I didn't know you was turned up Marsha. I didn't know you was turned up. But I was thinking, I'll take this one.
Yes,
You can go argue in the
she's
court. I'm
not
gonna argue
that
in these
type
streets.
of person. I know you don't want to do this. I know it's not in your
this
nature.
This is not for you. You stay over there and do your I'm for the streets.
This is not in your nature.
I'm for the streets.
I've seen you. I know. Brady Bunch.
Right. Right.
Where's Jan?
Right. I didn't know who you was. I'm here for the streets.
Where's Jan? I got this one for you.
Right. How did you feel when I pushed you down like that?
Let me tell you something. I don't even remember getting pushed down.
I took your shoulder and I was just like.
No. Those are out of body experiences. You don't recall.
Look, you was going like this. You were doing this too, and I was like, I got this.
You don't recall those out of body experiences.
You know what? I recall it because I done been in so many things. I recall the little tiny details. That'd be the funniest
It's
ever.
not what you recall. I just recall being so heated after working so hard. Every time I reached a resolution, and I would go back and draft it. Remember? We would come back and they would say,
I did it, Miguel.
No.
I did it, Miguel. I said, oh, you think that she went to lunch? Why are you talking to us? Why don't you go talk to her? Why don't you go talk to her? Why don't you go ask her? Don't you think it's because he was like, don't you think it's disrespectful for your?
ahead.
I said, don't you think
Go
it's
ahead.
disrespectful to talk to her staff like this?
tell her that.
Why don't you go tell her that?
so that I have to seat her.
I done said exact stuff. You know what? You're right. And that's what I said to his ass. I said, Barry, we was in the hallway, me and Tierra, Barry, check your white privilege, because it's out of control. Just stormed her. You should go tell her yourself. You need to check your white privilege.
Barry said, absolutely.
It's out of control.
You're correct.
Around and then
I'll be right
off.
Oh, welcome to another episode of Diva Court. I'm your host, Marsha Mignot, and with me is my co-diva.
It's Dee.
Dana Smith, that is. Government names as usual.
I need to put my mic up so I can be heard.
Uh-oh. You got something to say?
I always got something to say. I feel like it's low.
Gentlemen.
I don't hear. Can you turn my mic up?
Why do you need your mic up?
Because I know he be turning mine down on purpose.
The producer says you're loud, and they
I'm not loud.
Take it, so they have to turn her down. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here again on this Tuesday night. Don't go to bed yet. You got to get your edutainment with Diva Court. So find us on
Spotify,
Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts.
Google us.
Don't forget to look for our videos every Wednesday when we push them out real good.
Push them real good.
Tonight we're wearing Calm Camel. That's the color, ladies and gentlemen. What is it?
They try to make me eat camel in Dubai.
Oh no, that's not nice.
I said that is against the Levitical laws. I'm not here for it.
Leviticus?
Levitical.
I thought you said
No.
Leviticus.
No, I know my Levitical laws.
She said it's against Leviticus. I cannot eat.
The Mosaic laws says that you cannot eat animals that have one split and two hooves.
Wow.
Yeah. The split and makes it two hooves.
Wow.
Yeah, you can't. And rabbits, because even though it's not a hoof, it's a paw that split.
Okay.
So no eating of the camel.
So there's no other animal on earth that we eat that has a split? Because I think the chicken foot got plenty of splits.
It said two. It has two.
Oh, only two.
Yeah.
Because the chicken got more than two.
Right.
Okay.
The cow, you can eat
Unless
the cow.
It's a three
You
leg.
can eat the cow.
Math equation.
You can eat the cow because it chews the cud, and it makes it clean because it has several stomachs that it goes through.
Oh.
Yeah. So these are clean and unclean animals.
Ladies and gentlemen, you didn't know tonight you were going to be educated on Camel Leviticus.
I don't even know what that means.
So are elephants all good then?
No, you can't eat elephants.
Oh, you can't eat elephants?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know
They
who's out there trying to eat elephants.
They didn't try to feed you that?
No, they try to feed us camel.
Well, this diva went to Dubai, ladies and gentlemen, and she's going to tell us about her trip.
I think we should bring Sharia law into...
Oh, wait a minute. No.
Sharia law and international law mixed together, it's not bad. There's no...
What do you like about it, Diva?
They keep the streets clean.
So we don't keep ours clean?
No.
Oh, okay.
There's no homeless.
Okay.
No homeless. They make sure that you have housing for all those who, need it. They'll make sure you have housing.
That's some wonderful propaganda. I love that.
I know.
They said no homeless because
That's
we
what the
murdered
tour
them
guide
all.
told us. That's what the
We
tour
killed
guide.
them all.
I was trying to ask her about the consequences. We never got to that part.
Is it a communist country?
No. It's a capital. I would like to say it's capitalism.
Capital what? For
Capitalism.
Is it authoritarian? Is what she's probably asking.
Totalitarian.
Is it totalitarian or authoritarian?
I don't know.
Where you have.
They got a supreme ruler over. So it's
there you
seven.
Go, they have like a king.
It's seven
they got
supreme.
A king?
It's seven supreme.
Do they have a queen
and a president? So there's a president of the UAE and seven supreme rulers of all those countries or cities. Is Dubai a country? It's a city.
It's not
right?
a country. It's a city.
So all
UAE
over the
is
cities, there are supreme rulers over the seven cities that make up Dubai, and then there's a president over that.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what I think about Dubai. Goodbye.
No, it was really nice. Let me tell you guys.
First of all, let me tell you why. Not that I don't think it's beautiful. Not that I don't think the sandy beaches are fantastic. But I'm not staying on anybody's rocket that long.
Let me tell you something.
19
Especially
hours,
no Boeing.
David?
Like,
No Boeing.
19 hours?
It wasn't.
A Boeing?
No. It's not 19 hours
We can't even keep
straight.
a tire on a Boeing.
It's not 19
when
hours
it lifts
straight.
off.
It's not 19 hours straight. It's 10 hours straight. I left at 9, right? I went to sleep.
And 10 hours later, you were landing.
I woke up. They fed you. Because they had to wake me up. They fed me. I went back to watching movies, fell asleep. Like you know how we the same person. We put on a movie.
Turn it on and I'm gone.
Right.
But I'm gonna need an IV though.
Right.
Because I'm in a
I
rocket.
went to sleep. But no, it was the calmest flight ever. Like I don't like to fly. Like I used to be 2 hours and I'm done. Like it was a lot for me to fly to Jamaica.
Because you're talking in circles.
Well, the plane, it was 10 hours to fly from Atlanta to Istanbul, and then it was a 3-hour layover, and then 4 hours from Istanbul to Dubai.
So wait, let's do the math, ladies and gentlemen.
I left Sunday.
That is 10 plus 4.
Wait, hold on. I left Sunday night.
You got there Tuesday.
And I got there Sunday morning in Dubai. No. I left Friday night and I got to Dubai.
I left Sunday and I got there the following Sunday.
Right. But
that's a whole week.
It's not 19 hours straight.
So is it 19 total flight time?
Yeah.
Oh no.
But it's not straight though.
Straight, lean, sideways.
And then the plane doesn't, like the planes when you fly across the United States, they're smaller, so you get a lot of that. But when you're flying across those planes are bigger, and it's
So you had upstairs?
No, I didn't have upstairs.
Okay.
Not that big. But it was easy peasy. Like I was like, I know this is gonna be a bad situation, and it took off, and it was smooth.
What?
It was smooth. Like at first I was all like reserved about, leaving and getting on the plane and everything like that. Woo. I don't subscribe or claim anxiety. That's for the weak.
Call it baziety. She had baziety.
I call it
black woman's anxiety.
Reservations. I had reservations. That's what I call it.
Did you make them days before or just the morning of?
Oh, it was a couple of days before. I had a lot of reservations. But once I got on it was smooth sailing. Like, It was no big deal.
Okay, that is nice.
Yeah.
Glad you enjoyed it. My remote is my plane. Click, I'm in Dubai. Click, I'm in China. Click, I'm on a plane.
Speaking of China, I'm assuming she was Chinese. When we got there.
She who?
One of the people.
The tour guides?
No, the tour guide, she was Indian. But we got there, and the Asian, I think they were from China, they were looking at us, and they were just like so mesmerized.
Wait.
Yeah.
Because of what?
Because we was black.
Are you telling me Chinese people have never seen black people?
I'm not telling you anything, but what I'm telling you is that they took their camera. They was like...
And taking pictures.
And it was like just following you around. They were following you around.
Wow.
They did not say hurry up and buy, but they were following you around. And then just smiling and just like...
Kind of like when you go shopping in America.
I wouldn't say that's the same. I feel like it's more like starstruck.
It was starstruck. Yeah, it was. That's exactly the thing.
They told me about these people, but I've never seen them.
They was watching, and so I was like, because I be doing the most. So I walked up to her,
like, hey,
and I got my camera, and I put it on her.
I'm not shopping.
And I said, we're going to take this picture. And she was just so excited, and we took a picture. And then her friend was like, and she's like, what? And she, whatever in China.
So now you were a Barbie doll.
In Chinese language, she said, my friend too. Like,
it's Beyonce. I can't believe it.
So she like, and the friend's like, she trying to hug me and everything. It was so cute.
That is nice.
Some of the black women, they were like offended because they're like, why are they trying to, but I would have been offended if I didn't have the experience I had in the airport, because when I was in the airport, I saw the women that were dressed like this, all black, walking in the airport, and guess what I did? Look at this. This is cool.
So since I was taking pictures of everybody else, I wasn't offended by them taking pictures of me.
I was like, let me go ahead and give you this picture.
That was fun. So did you enjoy being away from the family?
Yeah, I had it was long enough to enjoy the trip and long enough to be ready to come back.
Okay. There's no place like home. I don't care where you go. I don't care how much fun you have. There's places I like to visit, but you have to drive there. Like Hilton Head.
Well, did you have a bad experience on the plane?
I've had several bad experiences on a plane.
Are you saying like the oxygen mask dropped down bad?
No, not that far, but very close. To the point where the flight attendants were looking scared.
Oh,
and I watched their body language to determine, is this flight going to be safe?
Where were you flying from? Jamaica?
No, I was flying from Atlanta to Palm Beach. And yes, and we were going for my grandmother's funeral.
How old were you?
So grown. I had kids. But the weather was bad, and the flight was delayed for hours, and then they left us in the rocket for another 45 minutes to an hour. And you in the rocket without moving. And the rocket gets hot because they can't do the air the way they need to do the air until they actually are moving. So you're pretty much getting this fan sound, but you're not really getting any cool air.
There was no circulation.
Circulation was bad. And then they had to delay, you know what I'm saying? They were like, oh, we're waiting on clearance. We think it might pass. So you keep hearing that. And you keep thinking, are these people going to lift off when it's dangerous? Are they going to get impatient? You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes they'll choose.
We can do this right quick.
They'll walk away from safety to choose accuracy. That means we got to go. We got to lift this flight. We can't cancel this flight because we already have these people on here. We've already taken their money. We've already pulled away from the gate. We can't pull back to the gate. So it's best for us to try to go up there, kill everybody on this flight instead of saying, hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's not safe to leave. So because I don't trust a human being, I was very concerned about the delay and how long the delay was and whether the weather was actually going to be safe enough for us to lift off. Sorry, FAA, don't trust you yesterday or today.
So that was one. And then the other one, you said 2, right?
Yeah, I've had 2. And then the other one was not going to Palm Beach, but it was actually coming from Rhode Island. I was on a trial team in law school, and we were coming back from Rhode Island, and the weather was bad because we were trying to get away from the snowstorm. And we had to leave a day early, so it was a lot of anxiety. We weren't supposed to leave until the next day. Then they just came in and said, hey, competition ended 1 hour ago. We got to get out of here. The weather's going to be bad tomorrow, and we'll be snowed in, so we got to rush to the airport and see if we can get on a flight. So that was kind of like, instead of thinking, oh, competition's over, perfect, let's go change, let's go eat, let's have some drinks.
They were rushing it on.
Yeah, they were trying to rush to get to airport. So we had to rush, jump in a cab, get to the airport, and then we were city hopping. So we had to fly from Rhode Island. We had to go to Connecticut. We were going other places just to be able to get back to Atlanta, and that's the only way we could do it. So that flight was rough because the weather was bad, and I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. No thanks. So 19 hours? Oh, no.
It's not 19. It's
no.
10,
19 flight hours.
Not flight hours. 14 flight hours.
Okay. 19 total.
19.
When you have a layover.
Yeah.
14.
And it's not even, and it's technically it's not even 19 because you said
it was 14?
Well, it says 19 on my
itinerary.
On my itinerary, but like you got to factor in, you know what I'm saying, the time differences and the change and all that stuff. They add all that.
Thanks. Let me tell you something about my remote, honey. I can travel like
girl, you can't even stay on your couch long enough to watch anything.
No, as long as I don't turn on a movie, I'm good. It's the movie that gets me. I don't know what it is about those credits, boy.
Speaking of storms.
Stormy Daniels. Okay? Very stormy in New York, where Donald Trump is on trial. You know what? For one time, I believe that this trial is buffoonery.
What?
Yeah, I do.
What is it about?
I don't like the trial, and the only reason I don't like the trial is because it's not really about what it should be about. And it reminds me of other trials that I've engaged in where I think that the court is overreaching as it pertains to its assistance with the prosecutor. Like, your job as a judge is to be a referee, not a team player.
Not the third.
You blow whistles. Ooh, foul on the play, unnecessary roughness. That's what you do. Not the third joker on the Lakers or the fifth player on the Lakers on the court.
6-man.
You can't do that.
You 6-man. I mean, some of these judges be playing ball with
Let me tell you something.
Maybe just Scotty to the Michael.
No, they suited. They almost have on a jersey.
Like, excuse me, Judge. You might want to put on a jersey.
Hey, put on the jersey.
Can you be more obvious?
Because you can't just block my shot. You can't just block my shot and call it a foul.
Objection.
Yes. Yes. I have seen judges will say, I'm not going to make the state have to object to everything you say. So I'm not going to allow that. What? What? You're not going to make them object every time? Okay. Thanks for playing. Please try again. So I have to be honest. I have not seen the entire trial, I have to be honest. I've only seen clips of the trial. And I have to be honest. I do understand why Stormy Daniels had to testify in the case. Because when you're a litigant and you deny an allegation that the state has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt, listeners, you open the door to the opposing party having to bring in evidence to show it. So here's what I mean. If Donald Trump had just said, yep, I slept with her, that would have been the end of it. But if you said, nope, didn't have sex with that woman, didn't pay any money to that woman, you open the door, because that's just how law works. Mm-hmm. Now I have to rebut that allegation, and I have to impeach you, and I have to call the witnesses to prove that. Who you going to believe, jurors? Because remember, jurors weigh evidence. They listen to the facts. They're the trial of the facts, and they determine who they believe and who they don't believe. So you forced my hands as a prosecutor to call Stormy Daniels. What I disagree with is some of the salaciousness of the testimony. You understand what I'm saying? Like the intimacy and the sharing of TMI. Too much information. Too much unnecessary information. Her question should have been basic. Do you know the defendant? Yes. How do you know the defendant? We had a relationship. What type of relationship did you have? We had an intimate relationship. Was there any money exchange associated with your intimate relationship? Yes, there was. How much money did you receive? I received $100 million. Thank you, ma'am. No further questions. Was it $100 million? No, I'm just making up numbers.
Was it like 150?
What'd you say? Can I help? Can I help? He said, where do I sign? Hold on a second. How many storms did I need? Just one. No, but my point is, get to the point. Get to the point. Ask the questions. Lay your foundation. Out of there. Done. Mm-hmm. Cross-examination, please. And then if the defense counsel opens Pandora's box by trying to ask some insulting questions or inappropriate questions or combative questions, and the witness throws it in on her, then I'm like, hey, you asked for it, you got it. You open the door. Everything you open comes in. That would make it better for me.
So what happened that you didn't like, and how did the judge play a role?
I don't like the fact that, one, the judge is wishy-washy. And here's what I mean by that. Donald Trump has been contemptuous. He has violated the court's order on more than one occasion. And the court keeps admonishing. And I have seen people in court do something as foolish as let their cell phone ring. And a judge is like, take the phone and put them in custody. Mm-hmm. Because you gave an admonishment, don't let your cell phone go off, put your phones on silent. Matter of fact, turn your phone off. Mm-hmm. Turn your phone off. And somebody, unfortunately, because of how technology works, the phone will still make a noise. Say, for example, you have a timer, or you have a buzzer, or you have something scheduled. Right. A lot of times,
even some phones, they'll turn themselves right back on.
Hey, because it's time to tell you. It's a reminder.
Right.
It's a reminder. They're smartphones. So they're doing things that even though the person has done what the court asked them to do. I've seen judges take people into custody and make you sit there the whole day. I mean, they eventually release the person. Mm-hmm. But think about how traumatic it is that you come to court for a proceeding and your phone goes off and the court finds that you were warned and it's contempt. And then put you in a cell. And you got this man threatening, talking crap, coming out, standing in front of the mic, and you didn't do anything. So, one, I'm not pleased because put him in jail. Take him into custody like you normally do. Oh, you're scared because he's president. Okay, so he's above the law. So all that stuff.
So you think he's leaning on the side of the defense?
No, I think he's leaning on the side of the prosecutor, but I'm trying to give you some of the things that I've seen him do. Okay. As it pertains to he's not balanced. Okay. So some of the things I think he's done wrong as it pertains to the defense is, in favor of the defense, is to allow the violation to take place. It's an idle threat. Oh, if one more time, $1,000 to Donald Trump? Come on now. Come on now.
He ain't gonna pay it.
$1,000. That too. Like, what? That's a threat. Oh.
He's like, I'm not even paying my attorney to do this.
Hello, this man's working for free. You think I'll pay you $1,000? Get out of here.
Put it on my tab, Judge.
$900 fine. I'm like, that's a joke. That's a joke. You have people that are poor when you're making their bonds $1 million.
Right.
And they're poor people. You're like, they're never going to bond out.
Isn't that overly excessive?
Of course it's excessive bond. And there's laws against it, but who's going to police it? By the time you get to an appellate court, come on now. They've been stabbed at Rice Street and they're dead.
On to the next one.
On to the next victim.
Right.
You should have known not to get arrested.
So who?
So the side that when he's leaning too much towards the prosecution is the line of questioning and the testimony that he allowed to take place from Stormy Daniels. I didn't think we need all of that to prove Donald Trump's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt as it pertains to because remember, the crime is you took campaign funds and paid a porn star hush money to be quiet, and that's illegal, right? That's legal.
But I thought it was I thought Cohen took a loan out on his house.
Okay, so how the conspiracy went, because remember Cohen went to jail. A lot of people forgot that just because he's out.
Right.
The conspiracy was that Cohen was going to pay it and Trump was going to pay him back. And that there was correspondence between Cohen and Trump that confirms that that's what happened. Also, Cohen went to jail.
Did he ever get the money back?
Who?
Cohen.
I don't even know.
So it sounded like a crime?
No. He did.
Okay,
Let me take that back. There's at least 2 payments that were made, and Donald Trump wrote it off. That's another part of the conspiracy.
Okay.
Wrote it off as regular old attorney's fees, and it wasn't.
And they can trace it back to his campaign.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Because I want to say, if he took it out and he never got paid,
because he said he could not take the money directly out of his bank because his wife would have questioned. Wait, 130,000. Where you going with that?
You don't need your partner to take off a HELOC.
That's it. He took out an HELOC and used the HELOC to pay Stormy, and then came back and got it back from Trump in the terms of
not all of
attorney
it,
fees,
just a portion of it.
They said he made the payments, so
all of the payment.
I don't know. I told
like
you
the 2 payments was like
I didn't watch the entire trial,
okay.
So the only portions I saw was that there were payments made, and that the prosecution is saying this is illegal.
So why are you saying that this is a nothing burger?
Because the salaciousness of people don't give people anything to hang their hat on. You understand? There's already people out here that believe, oh, you're only doing it because it's political, or the system is rigged. And right. So when you have people that believe that, you as a judge have to make sure that the entire process is squeaky clean.
But the judge is like letting crazy stuff.
I'm not letting in nothing crazy. No,
he's like,
no.
So did he hit it from the back?
Yeah.
Or did he hit it and then when I'm listening to it, I'm like,
wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What does this have to do with
that right there? That's what I'm talking about. So that's where I got upset. And I was like, this is a nothing burger. This is people, even if he gets convicted, people are going to still, oh, this was about sex. And it was about, Trump cheating on his wife. And that's not a crime because Bill Clinton cheated on his wife. And so you give people fodder, man. And you give them fodder to mistrust the system and distrust. And that's fuel for Trump. That's what he thrives off of. He thrives off of,
Is this a federal case or a state case?
No, this is state.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But it's like, man, foolishness. All right, listeners, we're going to talk about a story that is not happy, not funny, and there's no other way to put it other than sad.
Yeah.
There's an airman, a young 20-something-year-old man in Florida that was in his apartment. Law enforcement, sheriff's department received a 911 call stating that there was a disturbance or domestic disturbance. I absolutely believe that this was the wrong apartment because the evidence that's been revealed by law enforcement and by the attorney, Crump, for the mother, is that the young man was home alone. There's also FaceTime video because he was on FaceTime with his girlfriend, and the FaceTime recording kept going and it was captured. There was nobody else in the apartment. So if there was a domestic disturbance, we know it wasn't in there because he was in his apartment by himself. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to show you the clip of how law enforcement interacted with this young man.
This is the moment U.S. Airman Roger Fortson was fatally shot in his own home by a Florida sheriff's deputy.
Sheriff's office, open the door. Step out.
You see it all play out in newly released body camera
this is my take on this case. We have got to start, and I know a lot of people are going to be frustrated, with number one, training. Law enforcement is not receiving adequate training on how to interact with civilians. And that is a problem. Now, I know there are other people on the other side that's going to say he came to the door with a weapon. But you have to ask yourself, are you in a country where you want gun control or you're against gun control?
Right.
Because the hypocrisy has got to stop. You cannot say I don't want laws passed and taking my guns and taking my guns and taking my guns.
Only beneficial to certain people.
Except for when a person of color comes to the door with their lawful weapon, the weapon is pointed down, and his left hand is up in a surrender position as if, oh, it's law enforcement. It's kind of like, don't shoot. That's how I saw the hand on the left hand. That's how it looked to me.
He forgot to have his shield.
Oh, okay. But that's another issue, is you've got to train these officers that if you are in law enforcement, you have to take the bullet first. You have to hear pow first. You never heard a command in this video for this young man to put his gun down. Not once. This seconds after the door opens. Step back, pow, 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 pow. That's what you heard in the video.
Because you can see it right here. Like, he got it pointed completely
His
down.
left hand is in a surrender position. It's, hey, peace. Hold up. Stop. And the right hand with the weapon is pointed down. I pointed at you.
And we got to real. I fear for my life.
Then this is not the job for you.
You signing up
to
be out here carrying a gun.
for you. How could you have a surgeon say, I'm so afraid of blood? Come on now, and opens you up to surgery and starts screaming, ah, in the middle of your surgery. You're going to bleed to death. How could you have a heart surgeon that says, oh my God, every time I open that heart, it just does something to me. I'm just so afraid. And runs out of the room. You're not the person for the job. There are a lot of people that say, blood makes me squeamish. Needles makes me squeamish.
You can't be a surgeon, you see blood and you pass out.
Come on now. You passing out my surgery? Come on. I'm under anesthesia and you passing out. And you're just going to leave me there and die. It's not the job for you. It's not a job for a coward. And you're talking to somebody whose father was a law enforcement officer. So don't come for me and say, oh, you're just saying that because nobody in your family is in law enforcement. No, several people in my family are in law enforcement. My brother is currently in law enforcement. So I know that there are risks associated with their jobs. That's what they signed up for. And I don't want them knocking on somebody's door, standing away from the peephole. Why would you step away from the peephole?
Well, they said because they don't want people to shoot through the door.
Put on your vest.
But you know what?
Put on your bulletproof vest. That's why we made the vest.
Wait, the thing is that if I'ma shoot through the door, I'ma still shoot regardless.
When I open the door. So you're not stopping the shooter that's going to shoot through the door.
Right.
So could you knock on the door and be at the peephole? Please?
Right.
There's a sadder video.
What is that about?
We didn't play that one, and I would never play that one, where he's screaming for help.
Yeah.
He's crying for help after he's been shot. It's on the FaceTime video, and that was released by the Crump
Where's
Front.
the compassion? Where's the dude? I'm sorry. Like, you can't say I'm or dude. Like,
stop moving. Stop moving.
Right.
Stop moving. I
What
can't
you
breathe.
mean?
The
Stop
person is saying I
moving.
can't breathe. Gasping for air. Bullet holes all riddled in their body.
The cop is so confused on what the fuck is going on that he doesn't
That is
even
true.
know what's going on.
That is true.
Because he was called there for a domestic dispute, and I have not seen the other domestic party in this equation.
Not a domestic party to be found. House is empty because you sweep the apartment.
Probably swept their apartment before he rendered aid.
Probably.
Yeah,
That's
he was walking around with the Karen individual that we will name Karen.
It's always the white
Karen
woman
involved
that
in it.
brings down a black one.
Well, that's sad. Our condolences here on Diva Court to his mother. I cannot imagine. They are from DeKalb County, Georgia. His funeral is
What do
scheduled.
Ben Crump? How he know about everything?
I think they're calling him.
They have to be.
I think they're calling him.
It's
He's
like-
become a expert now.
He just be like,
An expert.
he be like this.
To be honest with you, he says that his law firm
Hasn't turned out cases.
has to. Matter of fact, they do. He gets about 600 calls a day.
Mm.
That's a lot of phone calls because he's getting calls from all over the United States where people saying, "Can you come help us?"
But so he just brings attention to the matter. He's not out there like.
Well, not necessarily, because remember, he can come in pro hoc vici through permission, Or
so
he could just
negotiate
be,
in terms of lawsuits. You think
he could, because remember that certain jurisdictions will allow. Because Johnny Cochran didn't have a bar card for every state he went to and did work. You partner with a local attorney, and then you use the local attorney to come in pro.
Johnny Cochran?
No comparison. Johnny is up here, and Crump is right here.
What case has Ben Crump like?
I have not seen any. I have not.
Ben Crump is great at
PR.
two things:
PR
rubbing
and
people's
back.
and he loves rubbing a person's back and interrupting them so he can talk.
That's it.
Hold on.
Back rubbing. But let me tell you really what's going on here.
But no, I guess it's like, how did he become known?
Trayvon Martin.
He got one really good case.
Trayvon Martin. And that's how it works. That's how it works. Because remember, Johnny Cochran, most people didn't know Johnny Cochran until Johnny Cochran represented OJ.
Right.
And he was out there doing his thing and trying cases and winning cases and all that good stuff.
Okay, so did he win the lawsuit with the Trayvon Martin case?
I don't know. I don't even know if he got a settlement on Trayvon Martin's case. I don't know. He might have sued the apartment complex because remember security. The gentleman was running security or working for security or HOA or something. There must have been somebody he sued, and even if it wasn't a lot of money,
he won.
It still put his name out there if he settles the case. So after that, it's kind of like, hey, I'm known. I'm this type of expert. I think he kind of fell into this expert of civil rights violation as pertains to people of color getting gunned down innocently, some of them with guns, some of them without guns. My thing is, if this officer was so afraid, it didn't matter if that young man had a cell phone. No. It didn't matter if he had a fork. It didn't matter if he had a knife, he had a plate. It didn't matter what he had, because once the door opened, it was guns blazing.
So would you charge this officer?
It's tough. It's going to be tough to charge the officer because the justification and the unbridled immunity that we give to law enforcement in this country is going to cause the prosecutor to say, because he had a weapon in his hand, the officer didn't have to wait. And I disagree with that. I think the officer should have to wait, because what you're saying here is all you have to say is I was in fear for my safety. I was in fear for my safety. And what's sad is regular citizens don't get to say that.
Right.
You can't just say that. You couldn't just roll up on his apartment and he opens his door. You say, I shot him because I was afraid for my safety. And I thought my sister was in there. Wrong apartment, you getting charged. So it's, for me, it's the double standards, and the application is not unified across the board that makes me say, I got a problem with it. If you would charge a regular citizen for gunning down somebody like that, just because he believed there was a domestic situation going on, even if it was his sister's boyfriend. He said, I thought my sister was over there and she had called me, but his sister had left before. You understand what I'm saying? Before.
And now you see a gun.
And now you see a gun and you're like, oh, so my sister's in danger.
And he know I'm coming.
Hey, he knows I'm coming because I told him I'm going to come over there and get my sister. Pow, 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 shoot him. You would charge me.
Right.
Yeah, it's very weird. They hold the police to a lower standard than they would hold a civilian.
And the police are supposed to be trained. Right. And a civilian is not trained. Most people own a gun, don't know how to use it. They don't get trained. They don't know how to clean it. And that's why you'll find that a lot of times people's own weapon is what causes damage in their home. The kid shooting themselves, parents shooting the kid. It's accidental shootings because people are not properly trained. You do more to get a driver's license than you do to get a weapon, which is nothing.
That's true.
You take out your wallet and get your cash or your check or your money order or your credit card, and you're good. There's no, and we fight daily, no matter how many elementary schools are shot up, no matter how many children die, no matter, how many teenagers are killed, and we're still saying, no, gun control, you don't need no gun control. What we need gun control for? But in this situation, you're like, fear for my safety, saw a weapon. If you're that afraid of weapons, like in this situation, you should be afraid of selling them the way we sell them, and the arsenals that we sell them.
I was about to drink.
Oh, you cannot take no sip to that. We need to change the story before you sip to that. So, ladies, our condolences. Ladies and gentlemen, our condolences. I cannot imagine as a parent what that would feel like to have your innocent son who served his country, who's a military man, who has a right to have his weapon in his own apartment and answer his door any way he wants.
He was probably thinking, whatever war he participated in.
Yeah, I would die at war, not here in America.
In my house.
In my own apartment.
By the police.
By myself.
By the police.
By myself. So, our condolences to your family. I don't know how that's gonna play out, but Diva Court will follow it for you. You got homework to do.
Do you have a civil case?
I think you might have a civil wrongful death case. If they don't, immunity can be waived, but it's tough to get immunity waived because you have to show malice or you have to show negligent or reckless disregard or wanton
isn't the hand?
I think the hand up is where
you got.
I think you might have something there. A jury might look at that and say, "Nah, his hand goes up." And the gun was down.
What else you might have is no lawful orders were given. Nothing.
Correct. No commands.
Stay back was given. So stay back and this hand up is an actual listening
stay back.
to
But he stayed back. He didn't
stayed back. That's what I'm saying.
He followed the command.
He followed the command. He did exactly what he was told to do. Stay back.
Yeah, but the other commander put your.
I feel like he said that and then saw the gun and then shot him.
Yeah.
Like he saw the gun after he said the command.
Probably.
Yeah, I think so.
Cowards need to come off the force. Cowards need to put the guns down, take the badge off, put the uniform away, and go do some priesthood stuff.
They're training them to be cowards. That's the problem.
Of course they are. They're telling them you better be carried by 12 than you tried by 12 than carried by 6. Those are the mottos that they have. You need to go home to your family as if I don't need to go home to my family. I need to go home to my family too. In fact, I'm at home with my family. Could you please not come to my house and gun me down?
It just makes you not have any sympathy for any officers who get shot.
Distrust. And what's funny is you're counting how many officers are killed across this country, but you're not counting how many citizens are killed by officers. Why is that?
Yeah, it's just like you don't even flinch no more. Oh, an officer was killed. I guess that balances it out. You know what I'm saying? I know that's sad to say, but it's just like...
Because it's not fair.
It's not fair.
You're looking for equality. You're not looking to be treated better. You're looking to be treated equal. Thank you, as we say here on Diva Court. All right, Biden's diary. Biden's daughter... Ladies and gentlemen, this story is still sketchy because we can't tell if the diary of Biden's daughter was lost, misplaced, or stolen. But it sprung legs and it left where she thought she had put it. I got several questions as it pertains to this story. Question number one is, why at your age are you still writing Dear Diary? Like, who does that?
At least have a journal.
Not even, I wouldn't even write a journal. In this day and age, when things can be used against you, people are looking up people's Google searches and convicting them of murder because they said rat poisoning, and all they were trying to do is get the rats out the garage.
And then you just so happened to die.
And you just so happened to die
of poison.
Of rat poisoning. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, they want to charge somebody.
You just happened to have anthrax.
I mean, with a name like Ashley, you would expect Ashley to keep writing. Some kind
That's
of
my. I mean, a diary at that age. What are you writing? Like, wouldn't you at that age go see your therapist? And tell it to your therapist.
I mean, the only thing you should be writing is autobiography.
That too.
Your life.
Well,
just,
she wrote,
or lie biography. You can just lie.
She wrote something about possibly being molested.
Oh.
She also said that her mother was cold.
Her mother was a code.
Cold. COLD.
Oh.
Like towards her.
Oh, cold-hearted.
Yeah.
Oh. I think that's what you tell your therapist after a certain age. You switch from Dear Diary and you switch to Dear Therapist. This couch is $300 an hour, but I'm going to sit on it.
Or they do virtual now.
That's even better. You don't have to leave your home, and you can still talk to the counselor, and they can help you out.
Maybe her counselor told her to write all this stuff down. Maybe that's what it was.
If I was a counselor, I would say, please don't put anything in writing, because anything you say,
you're the wrong type of counselor.
Can and will be used against you.
You're the wrong type of counselor, ma'am.
In a court of law. I am a counselor. Thank you.
That is why. That is why you are like, why are you writing a diary? Where the therapist like, just write it all down.
Get it out.
Just get it out of your system.
You're getting two counsels from
two
different things.
Exactly.
Stop writing.
Ma'am, you need to counsel with your lawyer, and then you would know. Don't put it in writing.
So let's analyze this. If you committed a crime and you wrote it in your diary, and the police happen to find it, can they use that against you?
Fonnie is using your rap music, so yes.
What if your therapist told you to write it down?
If your therapist told you to sing about it, you're in trouble too.
I mean, they're going to get to a point where they're going to start using your abstract art against you.
Oh, right.
They are. That painting looks like murder. You're going to jail. I mean,
is that case still going on?
Yes.
Why?
Because
I thought cases just be like a week long.
No.
They said it was gonna
Glenville
be
did
like
not
6
manage
years.
that properly, so they have another year to go.
Not another year. What happened to a speedy trial?
Oh,
By the time they're done, they're gonna be out of jail.
that is true.
Because it was
That is true.
time
They would
served.
have served more time than they could be
Time
sentenced
served.
to under the statute that they were charged. This is ridiculous.
What are they charged with? Racketeering?
I don't even know. No,
Gang shit.
Yeah, gang.
It's just gang
activity.
shit. OCGA gang
activity,
shit.
Yeah.
OCGA gang shit.
Rap music.
Gang shit is all they on.
Rap video shit. That's what they've been charged with. Crazy as I don't know what. But Ashley, please.
Put a
take
lock.
this-
Can you put a lock on your diary?
Ma'am, could
They
you
probably
stop writing?
popped- they
Could
probably
you
popped
stop-
a lot.
Stop writing in
She
your
probably
diary.
had one of those little baby
What
locks.
she said, dear diary, my dad is
I'm
too
surprised she's
old.
not just typing it on a computer so that
That
she can be just
too.
like her brother.
Well, no, because they got his laptop stolen.
That too.
Like, if you know, listen, if you know they out to get you.
Why would you write it? Why would you write
Well,
it?
the guy's being sentenced.
Yeah, but that's because he stole something and tried to sell it. You understand what I'm saying? And even if, listen to me, even if he did not steal it, let's say he found it. Listeners, you cannot convert somebody's property to your own. It's called theft by conversion. If you find my purse, you can't say, I'm going to sell it. You cannot do that.
You can
find,
keep it, though.
You find my dog, you cannot sell him because
But
he's got his little...
Can I keep him, though?
No.
Oh.
You need to turn him over. You cannot keep
But
him.
if I find your money that you
If
got,
you find my car, you can't keep it.
You gotta try everything to make sure you get it back.
You have to give it back. Call the police and turn it over.
the money,
All of it. The money, the dog, the diary, the car.
Yeah, the police will take the money.
The purse.
They
That's
find,
you.
they
And
find no
they'll-
owner.
and they'll lose
Yeah.
it.
They will put it right into
They will
their
put
budget.
it to good use. They will buy more armory. So that's the moral of the story, Miss Binder.
But why can't you find somebody's house and then you get squatters'
you
rights?
can't. No. Hold on. You need some years on that squatting. You need some
Isn't
years.
it like 10 years?
No,
Real
it's
estate.
20. It's 20
20 years. 20 years it becomes yours. But if you, I thought if you're in there for 30 days or more, you get some kind of squatters'
Wait.
rights.
I think we're confusing renters who overstay with people
No,
who just break into your house.
No, there has been this epidemic in the Atlanta area where houses will be empty, like getting prepared for renters, and they'll be empty, and then people will move in the house and stay in the house.
Well, that's not what I was hearing. I was hearing that they were fraudulently taking money from other people, pretending to be the owner, and then taking first and
okay.
last month's rent. And then you
Okay.
find out they don't own the house and you out the money.
So then that's
So they're
different.
pretending to rent other people's.
And since the people have paid, they have some kind of
And
rights.
because of how the economy here in Atlanta works, is that most of these houses are empty anyway.
That is true.
'Cause no one
Because
can
you have
afford them.
investors that are buying up all the homes in Atlanta, and the government's not doing anything to stop it.
And
Your
these
favorite
investors are
governor?
like corporations. so-
Correct. And what they're doing
you know how
is
I don't feel bad anymore.
I mean, the corporations aren't like individuals where I can walk to my property and be like, hey, get off of there.
no, but that what is happening to us is it's what people don't realize. It's causing property prices to skyrocket unnecessarily. It's causing renters rent to skyrocket because what they've done is 3 companies bought up all the properties and said
Yeah, I
we
heard
will
that.
not rent for less than this amount. So they put a minimum floor on rent. And now, no matter what you do, you can't get a 1-bedroom for less than $2,500 because they're owned by all corporations, and
Yeah.
they have the money to leave it empty. You and I wouldn't have that choice, and we'd be like, "How about $1,500? Because we need to pay the mortgage on it."
Yeah.
So we would not leave it empty. We would go ahead and rent it, and of course, now you have competition because if the homeowner's renting, they're like, "Oh, she's next door renting for $1,500. I got to bring my $2,000 down." All right, how about $1,800?
Yeah.
Because mine's a little nicer. That's where we're losing the competition because we're allowing this
But you know,
monopoly.
they were doing that with Airbnbs, and they end up losing money on that too.
Yeah, people
The
can't.
corporations were losing
People
money.
cannot afford it.
And
so
that's
when
why
you,
they divest into different things.
now they run into that, and they'll do that for a while until they have to stop.
Until you get a 2008 again, and then they're like, okay,
Crash.
you caught us.
Crash.
Can we have a bailout?
Speaking of caught us,
The seriousness of the face.
no more bailouts. Speaking of bailouts, these universities in those streets are losing graduations. Do you realize Emory University moved its graduation to Gwinnett County and not having it on campus just to avoid protests?
I think some protests are just weird.
I think protests have been around since.
But there
the
has to be protests with no result is just a riot.
Wow.
Like, for example, there has to be I'm like, let's boycott. Boycott is more effective than protest.
No, boycott is more powerful because you're talking about money.
You're saying protest twice. A boycott is a protest.
No, but boycott is the money. They see that better.
Right. If I hit you in your pocket, then that will make you move. But a protest to say, "Oh, we're mad."
I mean, it is a boycott.
What are they boycotting?
Remember, they're not making the school allow them to do anything. You know what I mean? So
are they boycotting
students
classes?
are saying,
But you know what? Some of them are boycotting enrollment.
That's what it's.
So that's
happening.
when they
there's
hit
no
the money,
enrollment right now. The school year
but
is
some of them
over.
are saying we're not enrolling for the fall. We're not coming back. So,
but that's the point. You're doing it to the college. The college don't have no power to change nothing.
Oh, they do, because what they're trying to say is they want the college to divest, stop investing in these what do you call it, military corporations. Because remember, college doesn't just make money off the students. Most of the money that colleges make are off investments.
Okay.
So where they start hiding their money and stashing it, that's where they make millions. I'm talking about billions of dollars.
Okay, so somebody came across what their investments are.
Yeah, we're like, hey, we see that you're investing
that's different.
in missiles. Please stop investing in missiles. Invest in something else, anything else.
Well, that makes more sense because outside of that, I was like, it's not like it's going to change any international laws or any like foreign policy.
So it's an indirect way of taking money out of the war. Because their real attempt is stop funding this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you, since I have control over what you do in a certain sense, since I'm a student.
Because I'm giving you money.
I'm giving you money
Speaking
to then
money,
take that money elsewhere.
Education costs $100,000. My God.
There was this article.
And the quality of the teachers got worse.
There's this article, and I didn't even read it, but I just saw some characters laughing, and the title was like, we made these idiots go to school to get $50,000 a year jobs, and they owe $100,000.
That's funny. I was in court with an attorney yesterday, and that's what he said. He said, "Who can pay back? Like, what job are they gonna get when you spend $100,000 or $160,000 trying to get an education? Like, what job are you gonna get?
Right.
There's no job that you can get to cover that. You're gonna take a job for $50,000 a year." And the interest on the student loans and the
Because colleges have become hedge funds.
That is true.
They've become corporations that hide themselves behind students.
That's true.
And then they get to do the same corporate stuff.
And
Facts.
it's becoming, those IT schools that you used to see on. If you want to get a degree in something, something
trade
that
schools.
You'll never, not the trade school, because the trade school you do get something.
The trade, the HVAC university.
If you want to get a degree in medical coding and this and medical building and and then you can't even use that degree. My sister was looking into doing some school with phlebotomy, and the program that she was trying to get into, they didn't have any clinicals. So it's like you don't even get the experience to do it. So she was like, I'm not going into a school.
Come draw my blood and don't know how.
I'm not going to a school that there's no clinicals.
Especially, those schools you have to be careful because there's a few people that have been complaining that the schools are making promises that they can't provide.
That is true.
Right.
Like a promise of we'll put you immediately in a job after you're done.
Exactly.
No, but I heard somebody with the best idea over the last Diva courts that I have said, and he said, let the school have to pay the money back to the people if they can't get a job in the area they gave them the degree. I agree.
The only
you got to pay some of that money back.
The only degree that I should be paying for is this cosmetology license. Because I get paid with that. It was worth it.
So did you enjoy your Mother's Day?
I don't celebrate Mother's Day, but
you're right. You're not a mother. You just play on TV.
I do want to say that there's a day that is for women that are great.
Every day.
Who happen to have kids.
That is every day.
Who happen to have
Look,
kids.
I am going to celebrate mothers across this country.
Pagan.
Because what
It's
they
a pagan
do,
holiday.
they take care of children.
Every holiday is a pagan holiday.
There's this
So if pagans celebrate mothers, then I'll celebrate a pagan.
Oh, you're a pagan. Did you hear there's this report that says that fathers are better nurturers than mothers.
Yeah. Somebody needs to stop lying.
Which father wrote that one?
There's that.
Not buying it, nor am I selling it. All right, so I'm going to share my Mother's Day, pre-Mother's Day experience. Listeners, I decided to go to the mall.
I'm just going to drink to this on my own.
Oh, you going to drink first? I decided to go to the mall by myself, and I was going to enjoy a little walk and look around because I was like, you know what? Mother's Day is tomorrow, and you need to just go see what's going on. And
what mall were you at?
An Atlanta mall. Okay. So I go in the mall and there's nothing I like and I'm looking around and I walk. So I decided to go to a Zara store. Most people know what Zara is. Zara is a clothing store for men, women, and children. They have some cute stuff. What I love about Zara though is their stuff that's from Egypt. There's the quality of the material is just bomb. It's silk, it's nice, it's soft, and they're very reasonable.
Can we get to the story?
So, no, I have to talk about this. The reason I went to Zara was not for the experience, but for the shopping. So I go into the Zara, and of course, we're standing in the wrong line. So the young lady who works at Zara comes over to me and was like, ma'am, you're in the wrong line. You need to go over there. That's where the line is for people checking out. You're in the line for returns. And I was like, oh, great.
Were you the first one in that line?
No, I wasn't the first one in that line.
So she looked over everybody else?
So she just, because of where she was coming, because you know when the line in there is pretty long, when you're cutting through the line, she just kind of cut through the line and she cut through where I was. Okay. So she was like, oh, you're in the wrong line. You know, you need to go that line. So other people overheard her say that. And one lady in front of me, she went on and she made it in front of me. I went it behind her and there was, everybody else starts joining the line behind me. So there's one lady behind me that starts, I could hear her faintly say something like, excuse me, I was in front of you. So I ignored her because I felt like everybody bum rushed from this line to the regular line. Who got here first. It's kind of like we're at the grocery store. Register 5 just opened. All the other registers were full. Everybody taking their cart and pushing over to try to get to the register. Right. And whoever gets there first gets there. So that was my mindset. I wasn't checking the line. I don't work there.
That's why you don't even move from the line because you're like, I'm about to be at the end if I get over.
So I waiting. And while I'm waiting, there's a young lady who's with the older lady. She comes over. And the older lady, you would think should be the more mature person. She starts ribbing up the young lady to tell her that I was behind them in the other line. Now think about this. We're not in the same line now. It's not like we're in the same line. And you're thinking, no, you cut in front of us because we've been waiting here this whole time. This is a new line, sis. So she starts ribbing the young lady up. Anyway, the young lady took the bait. And I'm standing there. They check out the lady that got into the line before me. And this young lady steps in front of me. And I was like, whoa, okay. Looks like I'm having a pre-Mother's Day. I wanted to say a Mother's Day, but I was like, all right, Mother's Day is tomorrow. Pay no attention to them. So I ignore. Yak. They start mouthing off, talking about
So now that she in front of you, she's talking.
Oh, she's still talking. She is still talking. So I said, okay, let me help her out. And I stepped right back in front of her, went to the register, and while I'm checking out, and your Coach bag and your braids and all these snippy comments. So I turned around and I said, this ain't what neither one of you want. And ladies and gentlemen, the store lights up and everybody is paying attention. Now Zara is not selling clothing no more. They selling fights.
Wolf tickets.
So she's talking, I'm a doctor. The younger one yells out. And I'm like, you're a doctor.
What does that have to do with the present?
Hey, let me tell you something. These young people need some help.
How old do you think she was about?
She's got to be at least 28, 30. Got to be at least 30. And if she's younger, she looks old and she needs help. She has on booty shorts, first of all. So if you're a doctor, you don't look like one on the weekends. You might want to check your outfit before you come out.
Why are you telling me you a doctor meaning? What's that supposed to mean?
I'm a doctor. So when she shouts, I'm a doctor, of course, you know that. Flip my switch. And I said, oh, I'm a lawyer. And you know what we do with doctors like you? We take your license because you're quacks. Yeah. Well, that she didn't like, ladies and gentlemen. So they're still mouthing off. So I say to the young lady who's checking me out, you need to speak to these ladies because if you wanted them to be at the front of the line, you should have slowly take each person one by one and fill the other line. You shouldn't just say, come on over. You shouldn't have spoken to me because you saw them in front of me, evidently. So the young lady says, stop. So she's trying to get them to stop. So the older one says, she's not a lawyer. She's a public defender.
You thought you ate.
You ate. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I look back like, you're too old to be that dumb. Public defender is a lawyer, first of all. And evidently, you are stupid. So she's talking about the purses. I was like, your assets should not be on your ass. So stop talking about purses, first of all. You don't have any sense. And you don't own a hospital, but I own a law firm. So when you want to measure up with I'm a doctor, so I should be at the front of the line, I took out my card and I threw my card up in the air and it fell on the ground. I was like, call me because you're going to need some help. Okay, listeners, it doesn't end there. Guess what? She calls the office.
What an idiot.
A message. I just want to report Marsha
Was the old one or the young one?
The older one.
Okay.
I just want to report Marsha Mignot for her conduct in Zara on Saturday. She was calling everybody the B word, and she was just unprofessional, and I don't think it's right, so I just wanted to put in an official complaint. I was going to call her back because she's stupid. Her caller ID was captured on our phone, and so was her phone number. So I'm thinking about it, listeners. I'm contemplating.
You got too much stuff going on.
I got a lot to do. Petty LaBelle.
Yes.
Petty LaBelle. Ding-a-ling-a-ling.
Petty boots.
Did you hear this? Ding-a-ling-a-ling. You hear my bell? Don't ring my bell.
Right. You can
because I will have to tell you how it works. And like we say here on Diva Court, who gonna check me?
Who gonna check me, boo? That's what we gonna say now. We saying who gonna check me, boo?
I don't know what she was thinking, honestly. She was thinking that.
Let me tell you something. People can have tunnel vision, mission blindness, to the point where, how are you going to read a card that says the Mignot Law Group and still call the Mignot Law Group?
How you going to say I'm a doctor?
And that is true.
Did anybody ask for a doctor?
No, what I'm surprised is you picked it up.
You actually bent down. You bent in the
off
booty
the
shorts.
ground.
Because I know
in the booty shorts.
Because it could have been the older one.
In the booty shorts.
You picked
Had
it up.
to be the younger one pick it up.
You're right.
In the booty shorts.
We gonna call on her.
And complain. So I get a call.
But the name.
The name.
You didn't read the name?
I guess she was gonna call your
She
husband.
is so
But the
stupid.
She was gonna call your husband or your daddy.
But the last name matches.
The name don't match.
The
You
first
gonna
name.
Call her daddy.
call my daddy.
Her daddy.
Yes.
To do what?
To tell her
daddy
to behave
But she
herself.
is not behaving in Zara.
Last time I checked, Daddy ain't gonna fire his own. Yeah.
Daddy's gonna fire his daughter. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
Let me write you a report.
Yeah. Tell me.
No partner for you.
She calls me to tell
I done
me.
cussed out people in the courthouse. You think I can?
Come on, lady.
After Zara?
Lady, you're a doctor. You're a doctor. I said to myself, either she just graduated or she's graduating next week.
I'm a doctor.
Your graduation was last week or is it next week? Because nobody who I know who's a real doctor, okay, is even bragging about being a doctor. Most of them are going, I'm so exhausted.
Yeah.
I'm killing
You
these
ain't tired
hours.
enough.
They don't have time for Zara. They order online. And
Right.
Yeah, that's correct.
You
it
ain't
has
tired
to be
enough.
shipped to, most of the times they're in, what do you call those shoes? Clogs, Crocs, clogs, something, and scrubs.
Every doctor.
How
I
you
know
a
is in
doctor with a
Crocs.
whore uniform on? I'm just saying.
And that's what I said. Excuse me, where are you going? Tonight on the corner? That's your doctor outfit? That's your uniform? Oh, you play a doctor.
You play. I was about to go. You can't play a doctor in a porn video.
You play one in a porn video. Okay, is that what you do? Good luck to you.
You want to
sis.
play house? You taking it too seriously.
All right, listeners, we're gonna let you get some sleep tonight because you've just had your edutainment coming to you with the funny every week.
Follow us on.
Find us on Spotify. See,
Spotify.
stay in your lane.
They need
Stay
to
in your
follow
lane.
us too.
Find us on Spotify.
And follow us.
Follow us on YouTube.
YouTube.
Subscribe.
Spotify.
Y'all just saying names.
We just messing.
names.
Apple. Google
Apple
us.
Podcasts.
Apple.
And Google Podcasts.
Google us.
And as we say here on Diva
Who
Court
gonna
every
check
week,
me, boo?
when we close the show,
Who gonna check me, boo?
we'll.
No, who gonna check me, boo is our new one.
Okay, so she want to do Who Gonna Check Me?
Yes.
We'll drink to that. Why do you drink so much every time?
I'm thirsty.
Ooh, don't say that loud.
We got to drink to that.